following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
Let's tidy up this tangle of film by putting it on a reel. Here is a motion picture film, 1,000 feet, 16,000 separate photographs.
Welcome, everybody, to the official space section of the chart.
The truth! You can't handle the truth!
Sir, you're out of order. Out of order? I show you out of order.
Hey, everybody, I'm Michael.
I'm Jimmy.
Oh, and I'm Charles.
And we're live from
You
Fringe
shocked
Fest. No shit. No, we are live from Fringe 2024, listener. We decided, Jimmy's, you've had this idea for like 2 years now, and we finally decided to pull the pin on it.
Where we want to argue with people publicly.
Yeah.
And where we can't hide behind Michael's basement anymore.
Exactly. We would just randomly show up on the street with a sign, and today's sign for the public, you've seen this sign before.
Maybe we'll just do it like Billy on the street, kind of.
Yeah, it's very Billy on the...
I'll start yelling at people.
Yeah, so
that usually gets a response.
Meryl Streep or what?
Sophie's
goat
choice or
my
no.
ass. Who's the true goat?
Here.
Seems like probably
Oh,
too
Charles,
much.
look at this. Here comes Wes.
Oh, my
Wes
God.
with your chair.
Oh, my God. Thank you.
Oh, my God.
Oh, and
it's for him over there, Wes.
Thank you so much. Oh, that's
Oh, my
amazing.
God.
Beautiful.
That's
Love it.
amazing. Thank you. The reason we're here tonight is actually because of this gentleman, Wes Noble. Wes, say hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Thank you so much for saying yes to us. We sent an email and we were like, can we just come crash your party and stand outside? And you were like, yeah, that's a great idea. And the whole purpose of this, we've been mentioning, we have this sign here that says, movies are better than theater, change our mind. And we wanted to see if we could entice some people to come over and talk to us. Who knows? They may not.
Maybe
But
start a turf war. We might start a turf.
So, Wes, how long have you been involved with the Fringe Fest?
I was a theater actor and still dabble in it, but I used to do it a lot more. So I've been acting in Fringe plays since, I don't know, maybe like 2012, 2013.
Nice.
And then I've been on Fringe staff for the last 6 years or so.
So tell us about why you love movies more.
That's it, you know. I'm the guy to come over here. But I don't know, man. If you've seen some Fringe shows lately, you'll see how much multimedia that they're using and how maybe, you know, the two shall meet pretty soon. Maybe there's a little bit of like a cohesion and we can all just be friends.
I firmly agree with you. One of the topics that we've got on our list tonight is immersive theater versus immersive cinema, right? Like D-Box and then the 4DX, the split screen stuff. I've read some stuff that theaters or plays are now doing, like Shakespeare in the Ruins, for example, for immersive theater.
They
right?
have
Where
D-Box in Shakespeare in the Ruins
Really?
now.
You should feel the ruin shake.
I'm in.
It's incredible.
I'm totally. Have you seen any good plays this year, Wes?
At the Fringe, I can recommend House of Gold. Not that they need any more recommendations because they're selling out like every single show.
So you got to get them fast.
But, yeah, you got to get those fast.
Nice.
I also have been hearing good things about a bunch of other shows. A show called The Mailroom. There's a show called Red Light that I've heard is very good.
Ooh.
And let's see. I don't know. There's always sort of the regulars who always come back every year to Fringe, and they always do great. Martin Dockery, Jem Rolls, these kinds of things. But you know, if I were to make one recommendation, it would be to try out a play, go see a play that you know nothing about. I think that is the spirit of the Fringe.
No trailers.
Yeah.
Get in there quick.
I agree with that.
I couldn't agree more. The best Fringe plays I've seen are the ones where Sean has been like, she reads me 2 lines, and I'm like, let's try it. Why not, right?
One of my favorite Fringe experiences ever was the first time I went to Fringe. Had no idea. Buddy's like, I have an extra ticket, no idea. We went to it, and it was fantastic. It was awesome.
Well, I've been coming to this as long as I can remember, probably my early 20s, and like the free stage out here, the fact that everything's a walking distance, like there's something like over like 100 Fringe plays every year, right?
Yeah,
like
150 this year, I think. Yeah.
Jeez, that's great.
Well, Wes, thank you for taking a minute to talk to us. If you see us still going in a bit, come on over and say hello again.
Amazing. Yeah, enjoy yourself, guys.
Wes, what a treat.
What a treat.
Absolute
Experienced theater actor, experienced Fringer.
I remember you once telling me, Jimmy, about a specific Fringe play that happened one year. And this was the reason that you said we should do Fringe, because if this guy could pull a crowd, then we could pull a crowd too.
Well, and that's the thing, Michael. Like, I can't remember how many years ago it feels like. It feels like only yesterday where he got on stage and gave himself a mayo enema. And my favorite part of all of this, Charles, aren't the reviews and what people thought. It's that not everyone left that day.
Like, who doesn't walk out on watching a dude put mayonnaise up his ass?
They stayed.
Also-
and that's what Fringe is all about.
Yeah,
You just gotta stay.
You just stick it
You
out to the
just
end.
gotta stick it. You just gotta stick it up your ass.
Yeah. And
And
just
that's the
like
only
life
way to do
sometimes. That's just how life is.
Well, something over there.
That man gave me a horrible look when I said that out loud.
It's like, look,
Yeah,
that's fine.
We're in public, baby. The things I say are not to
don't
be
make
cut.
Don't make me have to.
The only thing I can hear right now is my own voice, so I have no idea how much we're projecting.
Unfiltered, unedited.
Okay, well, let's start with a simple question here. Are movies better than theater? Do you guys ever remember
Yes.
a time when you've seen a play that, because our church is cinema?
Are we putting musicals in that too?
Yeah, why not? Anything that's a live performance.
Dude, Book of Mormon was better than any movie I've ever seen.
And why
But I
is
can't
that?
wait for the movie version.
Maybe you're right. Hold on. Maybe I'm completely wrong. But that whole experience
Yeah.
was just something else.
Yeah.
It's truly not the same.
I was lucky enough when I was living in Toronto to see the Evil Dead musical.
Oh,
I've
what
seen
a
it too.
treat.
Yeah.
I've seen it when it came.
So that's
Were you in
something-
the splash zone?
Yeah.
I was too.
And that was something that was just like fucking unbelievable.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I would do it all over again for that immersive insanity of them just dumping literally a bucket of blood on you.
Movies aren't what they were. We're not afraid the train's coming directly at us anymore.
That's very true, Steven Spielberg.
We know better.
We
I
do
would
know
watch
better.
Alien the musical. I think that'd be cool.
I don't want to watch my mom and dad in a Challengers type situation. Steven Spielberg made a whole movie about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I grew up in musical theater. I grew up
Uh-oh.
in. Oh. Do you want to? No. Do you want to? Do you have an opinion? You want to? You want to?
What are your thoughts?
You can say something.
All the greatest film actors come from theater.
Alan Rickman.
See, this.
Well, mostly British, but still.
I mean, the British are the best actors.
They got something in the water there.
Yeah,
in
I think
England.
it's.
Without theater, we wouldn't have movie theaters either.
Goddamn.
Very. See, we put this sentence
Wow.
down.
If
Not
we
bo-
should give him a mic so he can just drop it.
Let's just close up. We're done.
Yeah, we should go home.
He broke it.
Yeah,
I don't
thought
care
this was
anymore.
gonna last an hour. It's only been 10 minutes.
You've hurt my feelings.
How many movie festivals have you gone to?
A couple?
a lot actually, but
How were the movie prices?
Decent?
Were there over 100 movies?
no.
Oh, well,
No.
we have over 100.
Yeah, Wes
Fringe
told
shows.
us.
Wes told us.
Wes
came
told
by
us
and
all
told
about it.
No, Anthony, I'm Michael. This is Charles. This is Jimmy. We firmly
Nice to meet you.
do not believe that statement. We just wanted to pull people to come over at Fringe Fest, right?
Trying to start fights here?
We're in it for the clip.
Well, no. See,
We've gotten some dirty looks.
we have. Yeah, we have gotten some dirty, but we're trying to get attention, right? We're trying to get people to come over and talk to us. So we truly love theater. We're all theater bugs. I've interviewed a ton of people in theater. We just thought, wouldn't it be fun to come out here and challenge the theater crowd?
Start a turf war.
Start a turf war, essentially, right?
Exactly.
See what happens.
Now, the real question, which came first, novels or scripts?
Oh, this guy's going deep. I wasn't ready for deep cuts the first hour of the
know.
show.
We can't read.
Movies that are based off of novels, but we got so many theater shows based off of novels. Or is it other way around, plays? Like, what's happening?
What's happening?
It's
What's happening out here?
What is going on?
We can't read.
Well, okay.
Books?
You know,
Books?
Play them to me. Play them to me.
a good question comes up. What plays that have been converted into a movie do you enjoy, Anthony? I'm thinking like A Few Good Men, or Glengarry Glen Ross, stuff like that. Right? Anything come to mind?
No, but that's a fantastic question. Because I mean, it's not a script. I thought of Mice and Men, but that's a novel. But it's one of those things, right, where it's like, why are there not so many more suits? Like theaters, like theater plays from novels. Novels go straight to movies.
Yeah.
They option them because they can get them cheap. Right? But a playwright's like, no, I have poured my heart and soul into this, probably longer than someone who's tried to write a movie script. So I'm not optioning this on the cheap. You're going to have to pay me a lot of money for it.
M.
but-
Night said he does them in about 6 months.
Oh,
Not even.
oh,
So
well,
it's, you know.
you just ruined my
and
point.
he's a professional. I loved The Visit.
Yeah.
Well, Anthony, thank you for taking a second to stop by and talk to us here, my friend.
Thanks for being here. love that. I love the sign.
Yeah, hey, if anything else comes to mind, we'll be here for the next bit.
Yeah,
Please
we're
feel
here.
free to come back.
Yeah.
We're trying to get punched.
If we don't
could
get
be
punched,
that
it's not a
person.
successful show.
Then I got to come back. And, you know,
But
as
then
the
we get to
outdoor
talk
site
to you
coordinator,
again.
I got to make sure you're okay.
We might have a punch.
And that's the kind of service we get here at the Fringe Fest.
That's right.
Are we
They
going to
take
rock,
care of
paper,
us.
scissors? Who's going to take the punch?
Oh, I mean, you have to.
I have
gotta
it with
be,
my
yeah.
show.
It's your show.
Funny how that shifts to
Yeah.
me.
That's right.
I'm not wearing a shirt.
I really am not.
I'm not supporting this endeavor.
I'll see you all at the next bit.
Yes.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Good.
Love it. We'll radio you.
Great.
Need you in five?
Real,
Need you in five?
real debaters to patio. Real debaters to patio.
There you go.
No, I love it, man.
No, that's
we're
great.
Here, we're here to capture the real Fringe environment.
Yeah.
So, radio, security, someone begging for change, doesn't matter. We're here for the.
We're out
And
here.
if you want the real experience, we'll stick you over by the beer tent.
It's like doing stand-up comedy in front of drunks is tough. So is podcasting. Yeah,
You haven't lived until you do that, Michael.
that's true. We haven't even done a drunk episode yet. When you really think about it.
Have you ever asked a drunk man their opinion?
Yeah,
It's going to take
I
a
don't
while.
have 4
Yeah,
hours.
I was going to say, our show's too short.
Yeah. What do you think about movies? Well, let me tell you what I think
I
about.
was in a movie.
And here that might be true.
Have you ever been to a play where like it's gone off the rails? Like, have you ever been to it? Like, because that's the thing about theater is that you don't have in cinema, right? You don't go to final cut until you're ready. But a play where shit can go south, either technical or someone breaks or there's a drunk asshole in the
You
audience.
mean like the Spider-Man musical?
Oh my God,
or like,
yeah.
or like what's her
Someone
face?
died.
Men got hurt.
Or you're at the Beetlejuice musical and you start jerking off your date, like what's her face from Colorado.
Been
Like
there.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know, we all know what
In
that
fairness,
feels
I
like.
didn't think that the cameras at the Beetlejuice musical would be that good.
I
didn't think that.
really
Why
high-end
would
guy,
they
yeah,
be?
Yeah.
When I was in
That's not on
university,
me.
I went and saw a play called Spring Awakening. Had no idea
Sounds
what this play was
okay.
about. And a friend of mine was in it. And no one told me that at one point they get naked on stage and simulate sex.
Ooh.
Because that's the Spring Awakening.
Sure.
Yeah.
I just
So
had
that
mine.
was an interesting way. I was like, oh my God, I just saw my friend naked for the first time during a play. I had no idea.
And
That
he
wasn't
didn't-
in the playbill.
He didn't tell you ahead of
It
time.
was she and it was both my.
You
It
knew
was,
both of
it-
them?
I knew both leads. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It was interesting.
That wasn't.
I
in
mean,
the
you don't talk
playbill.
about it. You just say that was an amazing performance.
Yeah, I would talk about it.
I mean, yeah.
I'd be like, I
we
saw
did
your
after,
dick.
but
Everybody saw your dick.
yeah.
On a scale
Yeah.
of 1 to Tommy Wiseau, how was the sexy?
It definitely, you know what? It started in the room, and then it ended. I don't know. Basic Instinct.
I see. Well, that's nice.
No, it was. It was just so. It was weird too because it was like they start to have sex, and then that's the halftime, and then it
You
starts.
mean they
up-
went to the intermission
Yeah.
as they were about to
Yeah.
climax?
Yeah.
So they edged you and then had you
Essentially.
walk out.
That's a good
Essentially.
cut.
That's a really great.
Yeah, that director knew what he was doing
Yeah.
because those people stayed for sure. They did.
Well, I mean, how often?
Who does that?
I
right
think they
in the
had
middle.
something to talk about at the intermission. Yeah.
You know what it is? It's like, have you seen Gangs of New York? If you have the 2-disc one, it starts right when they go into their quarters, and then it ends where he just wakes up naked and all these women. So it's after. That's kind of what they did, but it was in real life, and it was wild.
But it was real.
Yeah, it was
And that's
right
why
there.
theater is better than movies.
I don't know. I didn't know. I didn't know that there was nudity in plays, and there is apparently a lot in theater. I had no idea, so that blew my mind.
We
Well,
got there.
See, we
It's
all
amazing.
know. We all know that you get multiple takes in cinema, right?
Yeah. And they
you
can,
get rehearsal time for a play, but when you go live, right?
That's right.
So if anything happens, it happens in real time. I mean, who was it? Was it Brian Cox recently who was yelling at somebody in the crowd? Like in the middle of a performance, they just break and they're like, "What the fuck are you doing with your cell phone?" Right?
Yeah.
And then you're like, "Holy shit! I've just ruined this entire." I've never actually.
Ian McKellen fell on someone.
That's also what
He almost
happened,
killed
too.
that
Yeah.
woman.
And
Because
he's
she was
fine.
on her phone.
Magneto is fine.
Yeah, get off your phone, and then he just took one for the team.
But I think
Classic
the only
Ian.
thing I've ever seen is Jagged Little Pill had some technical issues while we were watching live.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And it pulled you right out of the story, but professionals as they are, I was brought right back in. Other than that, I have never been in a room or been in a play where someone stepped on a line or something went really haywire.
Oh, you didn't see actors fight or anything?
No, I've been lucky. I've never seen something go off the rails before. But I think that's the beauty of theater, though, is that's its realism, and that's also its. I mean,
You think it's part you think there's some people that go to maybe see that Like
They
to
go to
see
wait
them
for it?
missteps?
Well, you can. You
Oh,
can
like
go
going to
the
like a
dress, right?
NASCAR
Is that
race,
something yeah,
hoping to see
exactly.
a crash.
Yeah.
I
Do
bet
you think
you
there's
are.
people
Yeah.
like that?
I'm sure there is.
Well, Anthony said like all the best theater actors are in movies now, and I have to believe that's true because if you have multiple takes, if you can audition in a room, great, but can you do what you do live in front of
Oh my
strangers,
God.
not
Oh my God.
crew?
What's society
not,
telling us?
Yeah, we should stop asking the question. The sheet just blew away for you listener. But yeah,
Fringe is pissed.
you don't have the maneuverability for anything to happen.
You don't see the blooper reel for the play.
No, that's what dress rehearsals are for.
I
That's
see.
what getting it all out beforehand is. But
I'm learning.
you really do get something better, I think, out of a theater actor than you do out of somebody who just flew off to Hollywood and wanted to be an actor one day.
How dare they?
I mean, yeah, I think like
Like all the greats go back to theater when they're not doing.
they're disciplines in their own regards. I think-
Holland's doing theater right now.
Jonathan Groff.
Jonathan Groff doing theater.
Our guy. Radcliffe.
Right, Radcliffe. Like,
Oh, Radcliffe lives theater, bro.
Right?
He just got his first Tony.
yeah.
Deserved
Big shout
it.
out to him. I got to call him later and congratulate him.
Yeah,
Oh, you're
that's
on first
huge.
name?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Wow.
yeah. The
You and-
Dan
you
man.
and Danny?
The Dan man.
Danster.
The Dan Magic Man is what he prefers over Harry. So
How'd you know that?
Dan the Magic Man.
we grew up together
Wow.
I was at Hogwarts.
in London.
Charles played Ron.
That's right. That's right.
Stunt
I was
double.
a stunt double.
Ron
yeah.
stunt double.
I ate all the shit in the later movies, but it was worth it. No, I think theater actors are more disciplined. So when they do transfer into cinema, I think it fucking just blows everyone's mind because I think in a way acting for cinema is easier in a sense because of the fact is you can take a moment. You can break.
You can try things.
You can try it again.
Yeah.
If you're not at your best, you can actually be like, hey, I don't feel like I'm at my best. Can we take a moment? Can't really do that in theater. And if you do, it's going to derail everything, right?
Well, and it's a
So-
different studying process, I would
Yeah.
imagine, too, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're like, okay, I gotta know today's lines.
Yeah.
I need to know this entire play by the time we open.
Not if you're
Yeah.
Brando.
Not if you, well,
Did you watch a
Public.
Superman play? And if so, who would you want to play Superman?
And if so, how many grown men would get hurt trying to play Superman on stage?
the same. It would be the
How many
same crew that tried
understudies?
doing Spider-Man.
okay. All right. Would I see a Marvel play? Would I see a superhero story?
You
No,
totally would.
Oh, the
I
Avengers
wouldn't.
one from
He
Hawkeye.
would.
Where Captain
Hold on.
America's
Yeah.
like singing in the
Yeah,
end?
yeah, yeah.
No, I wouldn't. I'm sorry.
Was that on
you
Broadway?
can't take a comic book and
No,
make it into a play. There's not enough nuance. There's not enough drama. There's not enough conflict.
You're just waiting for the right. There's a playwright out there that's listening, and they're
But
like,
Evil
"I'm gonna
Dead,
prove
the
'em
musical, was nice.
But Evil
Not
Dead
a
is
comic.
campy. It's fun. It's silly.
They throw
Ashes.
blood at
Plays
you.
well as a musical, right?
They could
Iron-
do a boys musical and throw blood at people.
There you go.
like Iron Man on stage in a play, like in a 3-act
What if
environment.
it's set in the 30s and it's just him in the cave?
and he's like, "See
So a
here,
lot
I'm
of it-
Iron Man." See?
A lot of the music is him banging, making the Iron Man.
Yeah,
and
but then
that
it's,
goes into
now
a
you're
song.
now you're getting into some sort of artistic impression. You're not even close to the base material. No,
Residency, baby.
I don't think you can take movies and make them as plays. I think plays only transverse into movies because you get to make a spectacle out of it. You can make it cinematic. You can take it from
What
this small room to this big screen and have this different shared experience.
I do agree, because like Tom Cruise could never do a play.
No.
No. There's what play could he do?
That's sort of the main thing and the difference between theater actors and film actors, because as an actor myself, it's basically after end of the day when you get your rewrites or get your slides in film the day of, you can go back to your trailer.
That's right.
And
Right.
separate from the character if that's your method of style of acting.
Right.
Or you sort of keep through it. Whereas for theater, like you said, you go on to the next scene, you may be carrying some of those emotions with you. So you have to separate that a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Certainly.
who was saying it recently? Billy Zane said that there should be emotional stunt pay. Because if you're willing to go to the depths of whatever your
I kind of
character
agree
is
with that.
doing,
Yeah.
your mental health and your physical health, I mean, you're not one without the other.
Even like Heath, like if there was actually an insurance thing in place where he had to go see somebody for, his night terrors or his sleeping, like instead of just giving him pills
Yeah.
from different doctors. I mean, how many actors, like he might have been able to try and get out of that character
Might have
rather
been on
than
stage
literally-
for that Oscar.
Yeah. He might
Right?
have been able to, exactly. He might have been able to actually get that Oscar in person.
Now,
versus,
is that
like-
something that is truly method from actor studios, or is that something that the theater? I think the theater is more responsible. I think for method acting than actual
I don't think
film
so.
acting. You don't think so?
I don't think so.
You think it's just?
I think
without Daniel Day, we have nothing.
I think the way that theater actors are trained, they know that when they lose themselves in the role, it doesn't mean actually become the person, because that's a big part of what theater experience is.
Yeah.
Whereas movies, they have this, I don't know, they get to have this kind of freedom, creative freedom, which I think is a bit obnoxious, to be like, oh, but I'm in the character, so I'm playing a bad guy, so I got to push you.
Like Jared Leto.
And be mean to you. Yeah, like the Jared Leto Joker thing. Like, that was madness. And the fact that everyone's like, well, that's just actors training.
And you know
it's
he's
like,
just
no,
doing it.
Dude, you've never been given a used tampon as a gift before? Come on now.
He climbed
I'm
a
in character,
building.
though.
They're keepsakes, I tell you.
I think, I guess.
He's a hero.
I think that's why also, too, like, theater actors are more able to adapt to circumstances than maybe film actors, because film actors, like we were saying, they can take a moment to be like, oh, can I go over my lines a little bit? Could I get a moment? Whereas theater, it's like, you got to go.
I got to feel this.
Yeah, I don't believe that you're allowed to use creative freedom to be a dick. Like that's not.
I agree.
That's not something you should do. But at the same time, you don't see it in the theater. You're right.
Yeah.
You don't see people clamoring, like the whole set losing their mind over a method performance, right? And then everybody ducking out of the way and bowing and being all, like, it's a very small, intimate environment, right? So you don't get that.
Like, I'm sure they do when you hear them, like, talk to their, like, when they're behind stage or some, you know, I'm sure after, if they do talk to the audience, they get that and whatnot. But with movies, there's this whole, like, it's even a running joke for anybody that really watches the Oscar. It's like, okay, whoever does the biopic is going to get nominated, guaranteed win.
Yeah.
And I get
Oscar
it.
bait.
When you're doing a biopic, if you're not if I don't think you're Elvis while I'm watching it, you haven't done your job, because that's the whole thing. But it's almost like they need their own category. Like, that is the standard of that's the best acting
like
you could
best
ever
bio?
do. That's the best acting.
But either
you could
way,
ever
at
do.
least one of them is going to get nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah,
even if they have their own category.
But I mean,
it's
like,
going to make that jump.
Like what Michael Keaton did with Birdman.
Oh, they're going to say Batman.
To me, well, and Batman. But what he did with Birdman,
same movie
versus
same movie.
Who did he lose to? He lost to the kid who played. Stephen Hawking. I think he lost.
Eddie Redmayne.
Redmayne.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything.
His
performance was great.
He's my favorite.
What are you saying about Stephen Hawking?
But Michael Keaton had to create this character. He didn't have someone to follow.
Yeah.
Hours. Like, I have images. I have footage. I can talk to his family still. Like, Keaton had to make that all up. You know.
Yeah.
To me, there's more of building something with a character than just looking at footage all day. And again, if I'm paying you to be Charlie Chaplin, and by the end of the day you aren't making me think you're Charlie Chaplin, then you're not doing your job.
Eddie Redmayne's actually my favorite member of the Wu-Tang Clan.
Redmayne.
I love Redmayne.
Charles, you got a guy standing right next to you confused on our sign. Do you want to, sir, do you have something to say about that? Give him the mic.
Do you agree or disagree? I just want to know, what do you mean by that?
Well, we're trying to just start a conversation.
What would you rather see?
Yeah, like, would you, if you had to live with one, would you prefer movies or would you prefer plays?
You're on a desert island and you only get one choice. Do you want live theater, or do you want a movie that you can, like,
you get a projector
one movie at the
or
people?
Okay, if I'm on an island, is it like one theater show?
One theater company, over and over again. Yeah, one play.
Oh,
same cast.
Same cast and everything?
Same cast, but I think they can do
so
different
they could play
things.
all your favorite TV shows.
I'd
and
have
movies.
to either choose. If it's a theater, I'd have to choose a musical, because then at least there'd be some form of more entertainment.
Yeah, you'll be able to sing in the shower after. I get it.
If I'm going for a movie, it's the Lord of the Rings extended edition. If I'm on an island.
Okay. Wow.
He wants 12 endings. I get it. Yeah.
Which one? One, two, or three? Which one?
Trilogy, like the
Wow,
extended
all of it.
edition. Oh, you know what? I want the
He's on an
25th
island.
anniversary Peter Jackson director's cut.
He's on an island. He's got 48 hours to kill.
Yeah, there'll be kids playing on the background. You'll be able to, cook food, go hunting. You got the music going in the background.
Damn, wow.
What if they can really
I'd probably
sing and dance,
honestly,
though?
I'd go with Star Wars.
The force is strong with this one.
That's a lot of movies.
Empire, buddy.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
it's Empire.
TV
You
shows
just
are
get the
lit,
TV
but I'm
shows.
sorry, I gotta go with 1, 2, and 3. And I mean,
Loves Phantom Menace.
Phantom Menace.
Nice.
Clone Wars.
Revenge of the Sith.
baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Prequels.
I like it.
Love it.
I like it.
Love it.
That's a hot take, but I like it.
Big Jar Jar guy.
All right.
good.
And Miss, what about you?
I don't know. I'm not a big movie person, but I don't think I could have the same theater group every single time.
But they can really sing and dance, though. They're like really good at it.
You get to pick. You get to pick the place. You get to. You have your own theater company. What
It's an
play would you
improv
tell them?
troupe?
Yeah, improv. There you go. Yeah.
I don't know if I could watch Fancy Boots that many times. That would be a really tough one.
That would be kind of depressing.
Improv would be worse. You'd have to be yelling out the suggestions every show just by yourself.
Every location is a desert island because you're miserable.
What's your guys' names?
Genevieve?
Marlo.
Thank you for walking over to us.
Yeah. Hey, that was awesome. Feel free to come back.
And that's what we're doing here today. Every good debate starts with a quote from Billy Zane.
That's true.
Right, Michael?
That's true. That's how it all started.
I have a child.
Did I even get my?
I have a
I
child.
did get my quote out though. Yeah, he did want emotional stunt pay.
That's how you know.
Yeah, that's how
This is
you
going to
know.
be a great debate. He led with Billy Zane.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Jimmy, what about you? Like, okay, so you had mentioned Book of Mormon.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
And
fantastic.
that was in Ireland, or that was in
London.
London.
Yeah.
Nice.
And how
Oh,
many
it was
times have
just-
you seen the Book of Mormon?
That was the first time I'd seen it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, it's so good.
It took a lot of convincing for Zoe. I didn't want
Really?
to tell her anything about it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
said,
yeah.
don't read anything, and she thought it was going to be some fucking religious bullshit.
Oh, like it was actually like teaching you about the Book of Mormon.
And the first 5 seconds in, you're like, oh, okay, this is different.
I cannot
Yeah.
believe that she thought it was
It's-
like, this is a lesson.
Well, because I told her nothing. She wanted to go see, so Spirited Away is doing a play there.
Yeah, that's right. That's
So
right.
she wanted to go see that, but it's not until March.
See
Oh,
that?
so you're
okay.
like, it's a no-go.
But
So I went.
okay,
That's great.
You may have just changed my mind because Spirited Away would be great as a play.
Yeah. It's
I
like
agree.
it reminds me like how they would do Lion King.
I
like
got
the
his
set
ass.
pieces and stuff.
Well, Lion King was
I got him.
like, I think, if not one of, like, I think
We
Lion,
got 'em.
Lion King
Book
is
of
up there.
Mormon had some awesome set pieces.
Back to the Future, the play. You wouldn't go see that?
Oh,
No, I
I would
wouldn't.
go see
No, I
that.
wouldn't.
I
No,
would
That
go
was
see
playing
that.
in London,
No.
too.
Get out of here.
Yep.
No.
Oh man, that's cool.
So we really did not want to go see that.
I like my Back to the Future unfettered, as is, no pulp, straight up. Marty,
You're all
Doc.
about the Wild Wild West.
I'm all about 3.
Little Shop of Horrors.
I'm all about 3.
Little Shop of Horrors is a musical, yes.
Yeah.
Because if it's campy and if it's fun, and
Yeah.
you can.
What about Grease? Are you movie or original play?
I was in Greece.
So was I.
So who are you?
I was Sonny.
I was Kaniki.
Get out. That's
Kaniki
great.
from Kaniki's like
Oh,
a
that's
calling
great.
card.
That's great.
Give us a song.
This is nowhere near
Danny boy.
the pipes.
Is that from Greece?
Yeah, it's the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Everyone they cut it in the movie because it didn't make sense.
Danny Zuko walks in with that plane.
Oh,
But they
jeez,
ended with the
Danny
flying
boy.
car. That
Well,
makes
yeah,
sense.
boy.
because they technology, right?
Guys, the problem with a movie to a play like Back to the Future is that you remove all of the magic that is Back to the Future.
Oh, the time travel.
Yeah, like I don't want to see two people in black making, 88 miles per hour happen, right?
They actually put fire on the stage. Like they burn part of the stage to make it go.
Sure. No, and I mean, even if you did that, it's not as
No, I
intended,
know.
right?
It's like I don't think a Matrix musical would work because part
Hard
of what
disagree.
Yeah. Really?
Oh, yeah.
It would have to all be techno.
Okay, but do you know how sold out that would be every night?
It would just people
Be a
would be doing.
rave.
There'd be
They
too
wouldn't
much
even care
MDMA.
about the
People would be
background.
doing too much MDMA. They'd
Yeah.
be like,
This is fantastic. It'd be like a laser light show.
I see. I
What's
would go
not to
see-
like about that?
I'd see the Matrix and lasers.
Yeah.
I'd see the Matrix laser light show for sure.
There you go.
That'd
For
be
sure.
cool.
That's
That'd be
the
cool.
play.
All right. Let's say I like laser shows better than theater. Change my mind.
I saw a Christmas Story a few years ago
On theater?
where you'll shoot your eye out. Yeah, it was fantastic.
Cool.
I saw that here.
Oh,
Really?
cool.
Yeah.
Where? Like at MTC?
Yeah.
You know. Cool.
It was
That's right.
fantastic.
It was here last year because Kelly and Chad are big.
Oh, that was years ago. But
Was it
yeah,
years ago?
I imagine they come back.
I swear it was here last year. They met me.
No,
Oh,
they
it's
did the
fantastic.
sequel last year.
So,
the actual movie
a
sequel.
Christmas story.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Oh,
right.
my
we saw
God.
Harvey too. Do you guys know Harvey?
No.
Jimmy Stewart sees this giant fucking rabbit, and he's like an alcoholic, so no one believes
Oh.
him. But the whole movie, you're wondering if this rabbit is actually there or not.
Oh, it's
Oh,
kind of
that's funny.
like the.
It's fantastic.
Wilfred. It's like Wilfred.
You guys want to play a game?
Who would Tom Cruise play in DC?
Yeah. What do you want to play?
We're gonna play a game called Do You? I'm gonna ask you if you think this was a theater actor or not, and you're gonna answer.
Oh, exciting.
And it will
Like
be
Okay.
theater
Jimmy
actor
versus-
first?
Theater actor first. Who came up in theater? Okay. Natalie Portman, theater or not?
No.
Yep.
Oh, no, professional.
I thought it was Star
professional.
Wars.
She was in The Diary of Anne Frank on Broadway,
Who wasn't?
Yeah,
and the
but-
Broadway version of Ruthless.
But I don't.
Oh.
So we got to look into that because like a lot of actors, they have to do theater before they can graduate. Like
Is that a thing?
Well, Paul Rudd and Helen Hunt famously did a take of Hamlet, in school together, and they recorded it and whatnot, because that's like my theater degree, like to finish my film I had to do theater.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I had to, so because from what I know, Natalie Portman blew up after The Professional is what really,
Very much so, yeah.
right? She's like a fucking kid in it. Yeah.
She's, I think, 12, maybe 13.
Oh,
in it.
right.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's tough, man. It's tough.
Is it Leon or is it The Professional? Or is it Leon the Professional?
It's both.
I think it's Leon.
Leon.
Professional.
That movie's fucking weird.
Yeah. I mean, okay.
It's Gary Oldman from The Fifth Element without being an alien.
I don't like that movie at all.
I really liked it.
So you're saying that where you went to school, you had to do theater before?
Yeah,
you
it was
could-
part. It was like your degree was theater and film, and the theater weighed as much as the film. Like I was there for the film, but the theater was like
was weighted just as
Oh,
equal.
yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't disagree with that. I just find that interesting
yeah.
that like
Yeah.
if you want to play with the big boys in LA, you need to
Yeah.
go off Broadway
But
somewhere.
as we've also discussed too, acting is so specific. If you want to just be a film actor, you should be allowed to just be a fucking film actor.
Definitely.
Because then when you make the crossover, it's a bigger leap. Because you're like, oh, I'm advancing my acting.
Because you know what you're getting in theater? You're getting a place where it's smaller, and it's like, okay, it's a smaller environment to know your cue.
Yeah.
It's a smaller environment to know where you're blocking.
Stage
right?
left, stage right.
Right. And I guess all of that stuff transfers as you get into
Yeah,
film.
like you do blocking in film,
Yeah.
but blocking can be way more like, Jimmy, you're going to walk across the whole bar, and then you're going to stop at the counter. In theater, even if we're doing that, you're like, you're going to go across stage right, and then you're going to
Yes.
get to the counter on stage left. Right?
It's too much.
Like,
Yeah.
Right. And
But-
it's a built counter. For all you know, in film, we're at a real bar. So I don't have to be like, you're going to cheat and go behind, but it'll look like, no, it's like you're walking across a real fucking bar.
You know what
No.
it is? People that use stage left and stage right, it's the same kind of people that use military time when you're not working in movies.
That's very true. It's 0700 and you're a fucking asshole.
And they're like, oh, what, you just can't do basic
700's
math?
Easy.
Well, yeah,
seven.
it's 1400 that where people get confused.
This is what they say, though. They're like, oh, what, you can't do basic math? I'm like, no, I could just tell when the sun is out, you fucking idiot.
Also, no, I can't. So, fuck you. You can't shame me for not being good at numbers anymore. That's wrong.
At least I know where the sun is in the sky.
All right, Kristen Bell,
Yeah.
theater or not?
No,
I wanna
I'm going to say no.
Broadway musical version
Fuck.
of The Adventures of Tom Sawyer in
Are all these
2001.
yes, and you're just making me say no?
High School Musical. High School Musical 2.
High School Musical 3.
Okay, here's one for you. Gwyneth Paltrow.
I'm
No,
going to say
can't be.
film. Because she's a Nepo baby.
Gwyneth Paltrow first appeared on stage in 1990 at the Williamstown Theater Festival in Massachusetts. She made her film
As part of her
debut, one
degree.
leader appearing in Shout and Hook.
Fuck.
Oh, she was in Hook.
Yeah, Shout and Hook, but not Hook.
No, but she is in Hook, the movie, as well.
She is?
Yes, so at the very beginning when he's going through the montage of seeing all the different versions of Wendy, she's teenage Wendy. Spins her around and she's like, Peter!
That's
just for
weird.
Like
It's like
quick.
Dan Aykroyd and Indiana Jones. Yeah, I got
That's
it.
It's just a
exactly
quick-
like that.
It's
Okay.
a quick thing.
Sarah
like,
Jessica
yeah.
Parker, theater or not theater?
I don't want
Oh.
to guess anymore because these have all been yes, and it makes me feel bad. And
Sex
then I'm
and
going
the
to say
City,
yes.
the
and it won't be.
musical, I will say theater.
You are right. Annie, 1979.
That's
Everyone
another
had
yes.
to do Annie, just like we had to do Grease. That was ours.
For those playing at home, I'm
Every
losing.
answer will be theater.
Morgan Freeman.
Oh, movies.
Nope.
Got it.
Broadway debut, Hello Dolly with
Bruce
Cab
Almighty
with,
on stage.
with Cab Calloway.
I'd see that.
And then he also began a successful career after when he appeared in 1989's Driving Miss Daisy and Glory.
Hugh
Those are his-
Jackman.
That was his
Movies
first
or
movie?
theater?
Theater
It's
first.
fucking theater, of course.
That's
it's
gotta
Of
be
course, it's theater
theater.
first.
Ryan Reynolds, theater or movies?
They're just big
Movies.
jacked theater
Yeah.
kids.
Movies.
No, TV. Two guys, a girl, and a pizza place.
All right. Yeah.
Ryan
Oh,
Gosling.
yeah.
And Gosling with Breaker High and Young Hercules.
Yeah.
Goosebumps.
Anna Kendrick.
Oh, yeah.
Anna Kendrick.
Theater.
Oh, I'd say theater. 'cause
Yeah, you're
she's
right.
got
theater.
chops.
Yeah,
She's got
yeah.
chops.
Broadway musical of High Society. 10 years later, she landed the role of Jessica Stanley in Twilight. She started
Oh,
theater
yeah.
at 12.
Fantastic
Did
role.
anybody make a musical of Dangerous Minds?
Wasn't it a musical?
Well, Coolio did a song for it, but I don't think it was.
But
a
it was played the
musical.
entire time.
Yeah, because that was the '90s.
We've got the rights for one song and one song
They
only.
got Vanilla Ice to do the.
Like it was the instrumental, then it was like half of a bar.
Dude, Ninja Rap is played like 15 times in Ninja Turtles because they paid so much money
Go
for
Ninja,
Vanilla
go
Ice.
Ninja, go
That's
Ninja,
right.
go.
That's why he's in it, and they break into a bar while he's performing it.
Meryl Streep.
Oh, theater.
Yeah. New York Shakespeare Festival productions of Henry V, The Taming of the Shrew, Measure for Measure.
Was she
No
Henry?
kidding.
I think so. Yeah.
She's so.
No,
she's
she
so
wasn't the
versatile.
fifth. She was the eighth.
She
should've
was
seen
yeah.
it.
She's so versatile.
Robert Pattinson, do you even have to guess?
gotta
Of
be
course
theater.
he's theater, yeah.
Batman.
The Woman Before at the Royal Court Theater. He landed his first film role. Do I need to tell you?
Yeah, Batman.
Twilight. You fucking
Twilight.
idiot.
Fuck.
Batman.
Batman.
I pretend Twilight never happened.
That's his film role?
Really? No, it's Diggory.
Diggory.
Cedric Diggory
No,
in
I think
Harry
Twilight was
Potter.
first.
No, because he got that because of Harry Potter.
Sure, I guess they're giving his big credit instead
You
of
got
his
Notable DC fan Michael's been taken down
J.K.
again.
Rowling ruined it for everyone.
Stop telling the world I'm a DC fan.
Big
and only a
DC guy.
Stop misrepresenting
He's the
me.
reason they released the Snyderverse during COVID.
Listen,
I got it,
Michael,
guys,
We're
I got
all,
it.
Michael got us covered.
We're all big DC guys here, Mike. It's all
We are.
right.
Tyler Perry.
Theater.
He was Agent Chase on stage.
He was in Tyler Perry used his life savings to write, star, and produce
Medea.
his play, I Know I've Been Changed.
Wow.
There it is.
So
That's
he was
about how he became Medea. That's
That's
brilliant.
a fantastic joke.
Julie Andrews.
Oh,
I mean,
of course.
yeah,
Sound
theater,
of Music.
yeah.
Didn't she do a fucking
Well,
movie called Sound of-
1954, she did a Broadway debut of The Boyfriend.
Which
and
was
then-
actually how they made Mary Poppins.
With The Boyfriend?
Yes.
Huh.
They gave birth to Mary Poppins.
Insert out. Insert out.
Andrew-
You know a lot.
I am a theater whiz.
Okay, here's a surprising one.
Hit me with it. I got it. It's 50-50.
Rick
I got
Moranis.
this.
Alan Arkin.
Got to be theater.
Yeah,
Yeah.
theater, but surprising.
Really?
Theater?
You think
played.
that's surprising?
He played. What's
He's a
his
veteran.
face? Oh my God.
Oh yeah, he was in the war.
I don't
He
know.
played Bruce Willis's role. I can't remember the name. In the musical version of Die Hard. That was when he switched.
There's
to
a musical version of Die Hard.
No, I made that up.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know.
You're a
You
fantastic
really-
liar.
I-
So
I
funny.
almost was
But
committed
that would
to
be
that.
fucking hilarious that he played.
You can't do that.
You can't do that.
You're faking us out here.
What did he? No, but what did he? What was his first play?
Alan Arkin's first play. He appeared in a Broadway production in 1963 of Interlaughing. He made his
wow.
big screen
Don't
debut,
even
The
know that.
Russians Are Coming. The Russians Are Coming in 66.
Oh, that's
Wow.
great.
Yeah.
He's been at it.
That's one of the most iconic lines, I think. What? The Russians are coming?
John C. McGinley.
John Cena.
John C. McGinley.
I'm going to say theater.
Scrubs, yes.
He's got theater
Yeah.
face.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
He was in a 1984 production of Danny and The Deep Blue Sea before he appeared in Platoon.
Oh, yeah.
2 years later.
Yeah.
Platoon.
That's right.
But yes, Jimmy, you were right. The whole entire list was everybody in theater before
I
they
hate
came
you.
in.
I hate you.
I set you up to fail.
But
That's
there
not
are-
a game.
There are a lot of actors that have gone from movies, like they started with movies and then went into Broadway. Like that's a common thing actors do is they'll do a run of a Broadway play or something.
Right. Well, that's what Tom Holland's doing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
And Brian Cox.
Brian Cox.
He was in London while we were there.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah.
and Andrew Garfield, was Tick Tick Boom a play first?
Tick Tick Boom
And
is
then
about a
they-
playwright.
Right, but was that
But-
a play first and then they made a Netflix movie out of it with Garfield?
Yeah.
Your mic is acting funny.
How did that work, though?
I don't know if Tick Tick Boom.
Tick Tick Boom is about the guy that wrote.
Yeah, the famous playwright who.
Oh,
Rent.
Right.
Yes.
So it's about him writing Rent.
Yes.
But I believe
That.
Tick Tick Boom was made as a play as well. To
Oh,
honor him.
okay.
Because he
Because
died
he was a-
before Rent got its actual
Feet on the
I never
Broadway
finished
debut.
it. It was too emotional.
It's sad.
Yeah,
it's really good.
he's really
but it's
manic
super
in it.
fucking sad.
Yeah.
Right. This guy's like, he's freakishly knows he's gonna die, but he's not ill necessarily. Like it's fucked. It's
Yeah,
fucked.
that's a Sunday morning at 9 a.m. movie.
Yeah,
if
it's
I'm gonna watch.
yeah.
How about audiences? Who do you think's more forgiving? Do you think theater and playwright
I
reviews are
think
more
theater
forgiving,
has to be.
or do you think
That's tough.
movie critics and movie fans?
Oh, movie critics are not forgiving in any way.
I would say theater critics and theater fans are a lot. Theater's always, as much as I love theater, and we're at a cheap
They're
environment.
just as
we're-
pretentious as film critics.
They
I
are
think-
more pretentious. I think
Yeah.
theater gets more of a fuck you and a nose up
But I
than
think
movie
theater
does.
is more willing to be forgiving because it is live, where things that are unpredictable can happen. Whereas in a movie, if they didn't edit out the fucking boom mic dipping in, that's just like
Or the Starbucks cup.
yeah, or this right, like that's like really stupid.
Jimmy, what do you
I
think?
think the feeling, because movies can, how do you explain it?
It's tough.
That's a tough question, Mike.
I don't make them easy. Neither do I that with my games.
I think with Rotten Tomatoes, it's a lot easier for the public to review
yeah.
a movie as
That's
opposed
true.
to, because you don't hear public reviews of plays unless your friend just went to go see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, there's no like real Rotten Tomatoes that I know of that's specifically for plays.
So I think it's easier to hear positive things about
It's
movies.
the New York Times theater critic.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
That's what I mean. Because even
Just
though
like a
the
food critic.
even though the New York Times does have a movie critic as well, we get to see a lot more of the public reception of that movie than we ever would for a play.
That's true.
Does that make sense?
I think it's also, and I think you're right. Like, it's easier, especially with Rotten Tomatoes, for me to be like, well, what are fans saying, moviegoers?
Yeah, exactly.
Versus film
Roger
critics.
Ebert.
Yes. Yeah. No, that's true.
It's
true.
easier to find more positive opinions.
Do people review bomb plays like they try and do with movies?
No, they probably
I don't think so.
Right.
I mean,
right.
and-
like
and,
that's
like-
something that movies actually have to be aware of.
Yeah.
Well-
Whereas I don't think theater does as much.
Have you ever heard of a theater embargo?
No.
Like a play
Yeah,
embargo,
right.
48 hours before you review it?
Right.
Maybe there used to be before movies.
Maybe. It's two different kinds of conversation. It's a movie where you've got a baked-in audience already, perhaps.
Yeah.
So then we're already vicious if it's Star Wars or Marvel or what have you. Where theater is one person reviews a play, and that person has been a theater critic for 30 years.
And you got to trust their opinion.
And you got to
about it.
trust their opinion on it. And I mean, what do you want? Do you want a wider brushstroke, and hopefully you catch as much? Because no play costs $200 million.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe $1 million.
The
right?
Spider-Man play was pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we know the budget of a play? What is?
I mean, it can
The
be.
Spider-Man play was like in the millions, which
Wow.
was stupid for a play.
That's very stupid for
Yeah.
a play because
Yeah.
you have a forgiving audience who knows that we aren't in this immersive world. We're in a world that is on stage with some partitions. Like
Right.
when I saw Clue last year,
Yeah.
MTC has finally got the circle stage.
What do you think the budget on?
I would say Clue's probably north of 500,000.
Wow.
How much did it cost to get Christopher Lloyd back?
All the money in the world.
All the
He was already in Winnipeg for nobody, so it was pretty
It
easy.
was all the plutonium to get the DeLorean working again, I believe was the deal. They gave him the DeLorean and all the plutonium he could handle.
Easy.
Yeah, no, I mean, with today's environment, nobody's ripping apart plays on social media. But everybody's ripping apart, like, instantaneously once Game of Thrones ends or House of Dragon ends. Go to a Reddit forum. There's no Reddit forum for plays.
Yeah.
It's just, like you said, trust the one guy's...
You got to trust his.
You got to trust his idea of it all, yeah.
And did he even like it? And are you not going to go see it because he didn't like it?
Well, and okay, so if he's wrong one time...
Fringe.
Is that it?
Is that like, or if he's right one time, that's also dangerous because now you're taking the word of God and stopping so many people from coming. Where movies,
think-
more people will try it.
You got to do what
Not.
Wes said, and you got to just pick something and you got to go.
I like it when you pick a movie for us and I don't know what is coming down the pipeline.
Good to know.
If I have no frame of reference for it, which is why plays are so fun because you've got that plus what could go wrong.
That's right.
It is the live environment. Is this guy going to fall off the stage like Magneto? Who knows?
So NASCAR,
Right?
you want it to be NASCAR.
Right. Yeah. No. Totally.
He wants it to be NASCAR. And that's fine. If Michael wants it to be NASCAR, it can be NASCAR.
Anthony mentioned a good thing earlier.
Uh-huh.
Play festivals versus movie festivals. Gimli Film Festival is happening this weekend. It's a fucking awesome time. But when MTC does like an Arthur Miller month, right? Like you do need more time. But the stories, like a film festival is really the only place now to go see an original story.
I'd rather go to TIFF.
Sure. Movies
been
are
to
better than
TIFF.
theater, right? But
It's fun.
I guess what I'm saying is
I bet.
It's wild.
It sounds fantastic.
I was like this far away from Idris Elba when he was there for the Nelson Mandela movie.
He
did.
was DJing.
well, even TIFF is
That was crazy.
TIFF is a huge film festival where like $50 million films go.
Yeah.
I'm talking about where theater festivals where you're getting into the nitty gritty, where you're getting
Oh,
into
yeah,
the
yeah,
cheap
I see what
and,
you mean.
and, you know.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like, I mean, I think the theater. Where I'm going with this is I think the theater and small film festivals are the only two places we're going to get to go see original stories because studios owned by corporations don't want to take risks. So to find those moving stories now, we're going to have to go into a place like this where we find a dank theater and we don't know what we're going to expect versus trailer after trailer, synopsis after synopsis, marketing after marketing.
Well, and I think that's why like theater will always be a huge medium because theater also has this acceptability that people are trying things. Like slam poetry, I feel like started as a play performance and then it became
Sure,
its
yeah.
own thing.
Like a monologue,
right?
yeah.
And slam poetry is something where seeing somebody
Whoa,
do that on
man.
stage is more accepting than if like that's how a film started, let's say, right? Like a film starting that way, that's a big choice. That's a big creative choice, let's say, right? So I think there's elements like that. But like what's interesting too is it kind of goes back to what we were saying, is that theater has this more experimental, risk-taking environment than
Touché.
cinema does.
Yes.
And cinema does
But
take
that's
risks.
also related to cost.
Yeah. Like cinema, what I like about, and this might be dying and with AI and stuff, but like knowing that like Spielberg was like, let's build a shark and a guy will be inside of it and he'll fucking program the mouth and shit.
Hello, I'm Bruce.
Right? Like like, you know what I mean? Or like, oh man, this special effect for the blood we need isn't working the way we want. Get the lighting guy and let's see. Like when Marlon Brando showed up for fucking
Godfather?
No, what is it?
Superman?
The
Streetcar Named Desire?
The Apocalypse Now.
Apocalypse Now.
He was supposed to be a jacked military dude, and he showed up mad overweight.
You can tell by the way they shoot
Mad
him.
overweight. And what did they do? They were like, hey, we're going to shoot it at night. We're literally just going to use the light from a candle. And we'll make it like... And it worked, because it's such a horrifying... It's more menacing in that scene the way they filmed it that way than if it was like this jacked dude framed all properly and every... You know what I mean? Like...
Well, and that's where you make a good point about going to theater before going to film.
Yeah.
Is
their
that
theater brains had to kick in.
This is the bare bones.
Yeah.
Right? So there is no lighting to hide you.
Yeah.
There is no in post.
Yeah.
Right? Like you tweak it.
Yeah.
It's a living thing, right?
Yeah.
Because your opening night performance for theater, we've never seen the opening cut of a movie. We
Yeah.
only get the cut.
Yeah.
So you have all of this room to make it perfect.
Yeah, we
Where
talked
we're
about
thinking
this
about
a little bit with Jess, but Fleabag was a Fringe
Yes, it was.
show
Yes, it was.
and transferred beautifully for television
Remarkably.
with the original creator and everything. And I honestly feel like because it's the original creator, there were liberties she got to take being filmed that she couldn't on stage. Like, she really got the best of both worlds telling the same story.
Talking about Fleabag.
Who?
Fleabag.
Oh, yeah.
She got to tell that
It was
story
a,
on
it was a
stage.
Fringe show before it was a series.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Richard Gadd.
Yeah. No, not Reindeer.
But, like, you know what I mean? Like, she got to tell that story in a very interesting way on stage, but then got to revisit it in a
Totally
whole new
new
creative
way.
outlet for television. And, I mean, it would be so fascinating to hear from her. What do you prefer?
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? Like,
That's the person to ask.
yeah, like, are you more proud of Fleabag as a Fringe play, or are you more proud of it as an Amazon Prime series?
What did you always envision it as?
Right.
One of those, I think we know the answer to the fact that one of them sounds like cha-ching versus the other one
Sure.
doesn't,
But
right?
creatively.
Well, that's the thing, is that if you get what you want,
yeah.
and she's like, okay, I'll take the one-woman show aspect and use it as breaking the fourth wall.
Right.
That transfers beautifully.
That's what I mean.
And that was really the only difference, is now someone's talking to you
That's right.
in show versus...
And again, it's more engaging because in theater, when they talk to the stage, you're like, that's expected. Like, they've been doing that since Shakespeare, monologues, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
In cinema or television, that is a whole, like, whoa. The viewer's like, whoa.
When we pull focus and go close.
Well, because in theater, you don't break the fourth wall. That's just how theater is.
Yes.
But in cinema, it's this, you're breaking a wall because you don't do that, right? So
what are you doing, Ryan?
it's interesting.
What are you doing, Deadpool?
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you... Like, the first time I ever learned about that, growing up in theater, I'd always been told, there's a wall here.
Yeah.
And when cinema decides to play that immersive trick on you, where it's
Yeah.
like, we're now welcoming you into our world.
Or if you've done any Shakespeare play, it's like, oh, you're going to do your monologue, so you're going to go upstage right. You're basically talking to the audience, but we call it a monologue.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or a soliloquy.
Yes.
That they have a different term for it because, again, theater can use those elements, and it's almost expected with theater.
Yes.
You go into cinema, and they literally call it breaking something because you don't.
It's
you
broken.
You don't do that.
You don't break character.
You don't do
break
that.
the wall.
You don't let the audience know that this is being filmed. This is real.
It's magic.
Yeah.
Do you, Jimmy, prefer a story in your play? Do you prefer something incredibly obscure and performative and artistic? Or do you like a one-person show?
I think I'd rather go see something big like a musical.
Yeah.
One-person shows are fine. I think it means you think pretty highly of yourself.
Well, there's
Yeah, you really think you're the most talented person in the room.
and that nobody else can lift the weight. You're
Yeah,
lifting.
I'll just do it.
Yeah. You want to do
I
it?
wrote this for me, and I'm doing it.
Larry David has a really great episode of Curb where he goes, what's his face? Children of Men plays himself.
Clive Owen.
Clive Owen plays himself, and he's doing a one-man show. And Larry goes to it, and at the very beginning, Clive is seeing him talking, and it just throws Clive off. And when he sees Clive's angry, and Larry's like, well, then why do you put all that pressure on yourself, eh? Maybe don't do one-man shows. If there was another guy there, you could let it slide, and then that guy could take over.
Yeah.
It's not my
That's what
fault.
I'm saying.
Yeah,
You could
it's not
split-
my fault
split
you
the
decide to
difference.
put the spotlight on you all the time. Don't do that. And
like-
it's so funny how he says it like that. It's really... And Clive gets upset, and then he breaks Clive. Clive's like, do I think I'm too talented? It's so funny.
Do you have an opinion on that question there, sir?
Well, I think that the one thing that's a little bit different is you're lacking the human element a little bit in the movies. And so when you look at theater, you're getting a little bit of a closer human experience with all the flaws, with the things that are happening as part of the interplay. And I think with movies, a lot of the time you're moving more and more toward green screen, pre-canned sort of an expression. And there's a lack of a lot of the relationship that's happening. And so I think maybe modern movies is what I'd clarify versus a classic movie.
I couldn't agree with you more. To your point, I mean, I think we can all agree that
There's not enough humans in Star Wars.
there's not enough. Well, no, he's right, because when you're in the room, you can hear breath. You can see movements that maybe...
You get spit on.
You can't edit a play, right? And you can edit, you can put an ADR after, you can fix a lot of things in a movie, which does take the human element out of it, whereas in a room with a bunch of people, a pin drops, it infects your way of experiencing the show. So, yeah, no, you're totally right. So what's your name?
It's Chad.
Chad, we're the Real Debaters. This is going to be out in about a week if you want to find us. You just have to Google Real Debaters, and then your opinion will be all over the world.
And there's a great website that I've seen on Change Your Mind, and it's called, I think, Change Your Mind or Change My Mind.
Oh, that's
and
great.
it poses interesting challenges out to people to say, I have a problem with X. Can you please help change my mind? And maybe it's like you're not sure of what stance you want to take. So I love this format and the way that you're engaging with people.
Thank you very much, Chad.
Yeah,
Thank you.
So awesome. Thank you so much.
Have a
Welcome
great night,
to the
man.
show.
Thank you.
Take care. Thanks.
Should we hold it? I'll hold it up. I'm going to sit.
You're going to sit?
And hold it up. That's great. Meryl Streep or theater?
Meryl Threeple?
Meryl Threeple. I think is Meryl Streep one of the ones that has like a Tony and an Oscar?
An EGOT, I think, is what you're.
Oh no, I don't think she has a
with.
Grammy. I don't think she has a Grammy.
Yeah, she needs a Grammy to have an EGOT.
All I know
Emmy,
is
Oscar, Tony, Grammy, Nobel Peace.
NASCAR Grand Prix.
Right.
NASCAR Grand Prix. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
All I know is that you keep your Glens close and your Glenemies closer.
That's
And
true.
you're Glenn Gary's Glenn Ross.
When your Glenn Gary's been Glenn Ross, you know
it's done.
You know your Glenn's been cooked.
I wonder how Alec Baldwin feels about that movie now because he doesn't shoot anyone in it.
He's doing a reality show now with his family.
Charles.
Yeah, it's a good way to get out of some heat.
Killing somebody.
Who pitched that?
Him.
That's
Dude.
awful.
Yeah.
Charles, what do you prefer? Do you prefer a big story, a one-person show, or
Okay.
just something in the weeds that nobody would expect, like a mayonnaise enema?
I'm not shitting on anybody that does a one-man show. I mean, I think
It's no
they're probably
sriracha.
incredible hard to do, but
Oh, yeah.
I do go on the side of a little bit of like, it's hard for me to take them seriously because I do feel like you're a little bit obsessed with yourself, and at that point, just do stand-up.
Well, okay. What if it is like a bunch of stories being told? Like, what if it's
That's usually
What would be
what
the
it is.
harm of having more people involved?
No, we've got an opinion. Michael.
Oh, miss, come on over. You've seen The Sign, obviously. What are your thoughts on movies versus theater?
Well, I'm a theater student right now at U of W.
Uh-oh.
You can go for free if you're over 65.
Oh, excellent
Hell yeah.
It's a
information.
big secret nobody knows.
Hell yeah.
I love movies and I love theater, and they're just different.
I think that's the best answer we've gotten all night. They are different. We love both. We threw
Not
this up
me.
here because we wanted people to come over and kind of engage with us. So there's no disdain for theater on the show. But thank you very. What's your name, Miss?
Lynn Martin.
Lynn Martin.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show. If you follow this online, your opinion's going to be inked in the universe forever after. So if you want to hear,
That's a good
yourself, on a
pitch.
yeah, we'll never take this down. Have a good night,
Thank
Lynn.
you so much. Look at
That's
that.
awesome. Well, I know what I'm doing when I'm over
it's-
65 if I make it to that.
No
Right?
shit.
Free
I'm going
Doing
back to
theater at the
school.
U of W. Fuck me.
Ladies and gentlemen, the gentleman who just walked up to us right now, his name is Nick Van Seglin. This guy went to high school with me.
Wow.
He's a big fan of the show. He owns bodegas over there.
Oh, right
Aw.
on.
Nick, Say hello.
What's up, guys? How are you?
Not too bad.
Doing great. How are you?
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, he's been waiting to say that for a very long time.
I listened to your Gimli podcast.
Oh, no way.
Oh, awesome, dude. Yeah, we would love to be there, but all of our weekends went to shit, so we can't make it this year.
That was a good episode, though.
How's Fringe Fest for you down here right now?
Yeah, it's been good. I mean, Fringe is always a busy time down in Exchange. It's always good to have the liveliness of all the acts and the pageantry of and showmanship from the people. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
He's had bodegas for like close to 10 years now, I think, eh? Yeah. That's awesome.
Do you have a controversial movie take?
Yeah, dude, you got something for us?
I think back fondly to our musical theater days together.
Yeah.
He was in Bye Bye Birdie with me.
Oh, that's
He
great.
was in
Once Upon a Mattress.
And Once Upon a Mattress too. Yeah, we did 2 musicals together.
That's awesome.
As I was sitting here, I was like, I wonder if he's gonna come outside because that would make perfect fucking sense. We would sleep at Miles Mac overnight in the theater.
Oh, that's awesome.
Doing musical theater with everybody.
Hell
It's
yeah.
probably some of my best. He can vouch that I was actually in musicals. I'm glad that I've got that here. Do you have a hot take on a movie or a play that you've seen so far?
Movies are better than theater. Change our minds. I mean, I don't disagree. I find cinema more appealing now, even though I did do the theater stuff when I was younger. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't been to a theater in a long time.
He's a brand new daddy, guys, so he's got bigger fish to fry.
Congrats.
Built one in my basement, so I kind of just watch everything down there now.
That's really the dream, to be honest.
Okay,
Having your own theater.
So now that you have a home theater versus cinematic experience, are you ever going to go back to the church?
Oh, for sure. I'm going to go see Deadpool Wolverine next week.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you're like, I don't need to worry about that.
It's good to see you.
Yeah,
it's very good
meeting
to see you.
Very busy man.
That's
very
awesome.
busy man.
You know, it's funny. He just said something, and I'm like, kind of jealous of that. Yeah, I guess when you're a new dad, you're so busy. You're like, I don't have to worry about spoilers. I'm lucky if I see things.
Yeah, he's so
That's
not
awesome.
engraved.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Michael's been talking about his musical theater days for a while, to the point where we thought he was lying. So this was huge.
It's nice to have cooperation on that.
Verification that I for Bye Bye Birdie, we were both like part of the Apple Bottom gang.
Oh, that's awesome.
And for Once Upon a Mattress, we were both knights in waiting who were incredibly horny. And I remember one night I put on the wrong tights, and you could see my
schlong.
You could see it all.
Nice.
Yeah, under the hot lights, you could see it all.
Sometimes we get that on the show.
I may have
though.
not seen that. I may have not seen a play that happened in, but I was part of a play that I produced before.
So you did nudity before you knew that was allowed on.
He doesn't know that we see that every time he wears shorts on the show.
The seats are low for a reason.
I have to sit across from him.
That's true. That's why I stopped wearing my yoga shorts.
He wears nylon shorts to recordings.
Shorts, 6 inches. I like them.
Oh, that's an inseam.
He looks good, but
It's an inseam.
it's all balls.
It's all.
Oh,
shit.
It's all just
he
balls.
shows us.
Yeah.
Well, guys, as much as I would love to sit here for the remainder of the evening and do this, we have come to the conclusion of our lovely programming.
It's been 4
this evening.
hours already.
Yeah, it has been. Hasn't it?
Oh,
It's
man.
fucking quick. I know.
Thank you for coming down and talking to us. We're going to do a lot more live things coming up. We're going to be at Assiniboine Park doing
August
movies in the
23rd.
park August 23rd.
Oh, we're doing Simpsons trivia. We rescheduled it.
We did.
We're going to be doing it.
New date for trivia is August 16th, Little Brown Jug, right up the street from where we are right now. Tickets are $5, listener. Link in the bio. So get them while they're hot. I am playing. I will be sitting at a little desk.
That's right.
Playing against the entire room.
He says we're liars.
Yeah.
He does.
We just had someone call us liars for our sign.
That's totally fun. But I will be playing against you at Simpsons Trivia, so if you want to play against me and win a $25 gift cert to go to Landmark Theaters and probably some Little Brown Jug swag, get your tickets now.
Think about it.
We truly love theater, and if you're a theater actor or you work in theater, if you work in the theater and you want to reach out to the show and you want to come on and have this conversation again, we'd love to have you. Thank you, Fringe, for letting us come out and do this.
Thank you,
everybody.
Fringe.
It's been a great time. I've been Michael.
I've been James Franco, but not in a bad way.
And I've been give me some money so we can make Animantia, man.
Watch all the movies. Go see all the theater.
Next year at Fringe.
We've been your real debaters.
We love you, Fringe.
Fringe
Bye,
1994.
Bye.
Bye.
If you have any problems, dial information. Thank you for calling.